host of the Gridiron.
Back to the sixth quarterback, meaning right. So we have so we started off with Daniel Jones, then we went to Tommy Chicken Cutlet Parmesan. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to need two hands here, right? Then we went to Drew Lock, right? Then he got injured. He played 2 games, he got injured. Then we went to Tommy Chicken Cutlet Parmesan, right? Then he played half a game. Then we went to Boyle, right? Now we're over to Lock. So we got six quarterback. Basically, and it's also not so much. It's not like not the 6 different quarterback. Of course, we've only had 4. DeVito's gone in 2 times. Locke has gone in for 2 times as well. But also, it's been right. I mean, Daniel. It's not like it wasn't like mop up duty. We're up 49-3. Hey, let's get that second stringer in there. Get him some snaps. Yeah, he went along. Go play some football. I mean, we had Daniel Jones because he was our starter, right? Right. So then, of course, obviously benched him, let him go, whatever you want to call it. So, we needed another starter. So we had Tommy DeVito, right? He played 1 game and his forearm, right? So we needed another starter, right? So we went to Drew Lock, played 2 games, and he just got banged up and pounded and pummeled and so bad he can only play 2 games. Right, so then we had to go back to so Tommy's forearm healed up after, I guess, the 2 games off, right? So we went back to him because Drew Lock couldn't go, right? So then half a game after that, not 1 play before the halftime. I think Boyle had to go in there, right? So basically, Tommy lasted half a game, right? And he was out with a concussion, and we had to put Boyle back in there, or had to put Boyle in there. Right, because DeVito was concussed. So now DeVito's with still concussion protocol. Boyle's the 4th string or 3rd string quarterback now, I guess. So we got Locked back in there. So I mean, and it's like the 6 different, not different player, but 6 different times I put a quarterback in there due to need. Yeah. Once again, you don't see other teams doing that. Only the Giants. Now, of course, a lot of that also has to do with guys getting banged up and being. That's because they're getting pumped. They're running for their lives, or they're not very good, right? They're not making good, quick decisions, getting rid of the ball, or maybe reading the play correctly. I mean, if you go up to the line of scrimmage and you've done your film study and okay, I think they're too high safeties. Okay, I think they're going to do this. I think they're whatever. I think they might roll their safety, might roll their corners this way, but okay. I think, all right. I think I'm going to hit him over here or something. I mean, you diagnose it, take a couple steps, boom, get the ball. You don't get hit. But if you don't know what you're doing, or offensive line's a sieve, or your wide receivers don't get open, or whatever, you got to hold on to the ball, you got to run around, you got to run for your lives, you're going to get hit. So, I mean, that's some of it as well, too. But then again, even the best ones get injured, to some extent. I mean, look at Mahomes. He has a high ankle sprain. Then again, you look at other guys like Josh Allen. It's like, I don't even know if you can hurt that guy. I mean, and the guy just looks for people to run over, and he just gets up and just, all right, guys, first down. Let's huddle up. It's like, yeah. Our guys came and play a half without hurting their arm, their heel, or it's like really makes you appreciate Eli, right? Really makes you appreciate it. I don't know how that guy did it. Wasn't a muscle on the dude's body, and somehow week in and week out, he just came ready to play football. Simply amazing, wasn't it? Really miss Eli. But so putting Lock back in there. New York Giants know who their starting quarterback will be versus the Falcons. Drew Lock appears to be healthy enough to return to the lineup. Drew Lock will be the starting quarterback for the Giants on Sunday versus the Atlanta Falcons. Head coach Brian Daboll told reporters on Wednesday that Lock recovered enough from the heel and left elbow. I mean, he had heel and a left elbow injuries. in 2 games. So return to practice and we'll return to the starting role. Lockett started the previous 2 games prior to missing Sunday's game against the Ravens. Tommy DeVito in the concussion protocol after leaving the game versus Baltimore just before halftime has a chance to be the backup quarterback, of course, if he passes the concussion protocol. If DeVito does not clear the protocol in time, Tim Boyle will be the number 2 quarterback. So I don't know, what would wind up happening. Obviously, because, the way the Giants are going through quarterbacks here is that, who's going to be third quarterback? Yeah, do you have an emergency quarterback? Yeah, I'll have to wait and see. Yeah, it'd be interesting. I said if like DeVito passes, right? But he's running out of time. Let's see. We got Giants turn to Drew Lock as a starting quarterback. Another week, another starting quarterback for the New York Giants, who plan to go back to Drew Lock against the Falcons. Lock will square off against the Falcons team quarterback by Michael Penix. It'll be very interesting, right? So we will know, right? Well, who was Michael Penix's first start ever against? The New York Football Giants. He was named Atlanta starter Tuesday night over veteran Kirk Cousins, who's had a miserable last 5 games. He's thrown 1 touchdown and 9 interceptions. Lock did not play in last week's blowout against the Ravens because of his heel injury. He was also dealing with the left elbow problem. Drew should be okay, Daboll said before Lock went out Wednesday and practiced for the first time since ditching the boot on his foot. The Giants haven't been able to settle on a starting quarterback since benching Daniel Jones last month. New York surprisingly turned to Tommy DeVito, the team's 3rd stringer all season, up at that point for the November 24 blowout loss to the Bucs. Jones was released prior to that game and eventually signed with the Vikings. But DeVito injured his forearm against the Bucs and missed the Thanksgiving Day game against the Cowboys, opening the door for Lock to start the next 2 games before his heel injury forced New York to turn to DeVito last Sunday against the Ravens. It's definitely different, Lock said, but at the same time, Tommy was upset when he got his bell rung. He didn't get to play. I went in there, the heel thing happened, and then he goes back in. We've just had some unfortunate things happen, and we just keep rolling with the punches, which is all you can do. DeVito was knocked out of the game after going 10 for 13 for 68 yards in the first half behind a tattered offensive line. He was ruled out with a concussion, but was back on the field Wednesday with the likelihood that he will be Lock's backup Sunday if he progresses without any setbacks. He's moving through the protocol, Daboll said. He's doing something today. He'll have a chance to be the number 2 against the Falcons. Veteran Tim Boyle finished Sunday's loss to the Ravens, throwing the Giants' first touchdown pass since Jones on November 3rd. Boyle went 12 for 24, 123 yards with a touchdown and interception, basically all in the second half. It's all a little different with each guy, Daboll said. Certainly you like one guy in there the whole time, but that's not the reality. No, it's not. Giants are obviously currently riding a 9-game losing streak. Coincidentally, Penix's first start will come against one of the teams that passed on him in the draft. Obviously, that's going to be one of the huge things, right? If Penix has a nice game, he's got some nice weapons. So, I mean, if Penix has, he might. I mean, because if the Giants' secondary is still, right, missing players, he might have a good game. And then, of course, the headlines would be Penix plays, right? Why didn't the Giants draft him? It's amazing. It really is amazing. It's like when the quarterbacks do good for another team, it's like, why did the Giants draft that guy? But when players go past the Giants in the draft and they get drafted and the quarterbacks suck, well, you don't see headlines. Well, thank goodness the Giants passed on that guy, because you don't see that. Just bring up the negative stuff, right? So, of course, that'll be a huge headline if Penix goes out there and has a really good game against the Giants this Sunday. So, which he might. He's had what do you want to say, 3/4 of the season, if not more. Be on the sideline, know the plays, so he's familiar with the offense. I said he has some really good weapons to go with. He'll be at home, right? The Giants are, really ravaged by injuries, especially their secondary. I mean, last weekend, the secondary, and one of the reasons why, I mean, if everybody was healthy for the Giants, if we had all the guys in there in the secondary, is Lamar's throwing for 5 touchdown passes? Quite possibly not. Would we have lost? Well, quite possibly, yeah. But was he going to throw for, I don't know, what was he? 99 out of 100, 5 touchdown passes. I mean, the quarterback rating was perfect. I mean, it was absolutely ridiculous his stats were. But, I'm saying, but we were totally ravaged by injuries. Right? So I'm saying, Penix might have a good game. Yeah, it's a decent game. I mean, if the Giants, their secondary is, if obviously Newman's not going to be there, right? Flott, Phillips, and Banks can't play as our 3 starting corners, right?